Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and Mr. B, I am checking my volume. I forgot if I had done that or not. Folks, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to start out with something funny. I showed my wife this video. Many of you have heard me complain about how I don't like taking the trash out and I don't like unloading the dishwasher. And so I showed my wife this morning, and she rolled her eyes and walked out of the room.
Up the dishwasher and cook dinner and put the washing on, and you know what? I can't continue to live like this.
Hey, relax. It's gonna be all right.
How?
Here, I'll just show you. Okay, I've been doing this since you moved in. See this basket thing? I don't know how it happens, if it's the house or what, but any dirty clothes you put in this basket, somehow the next day they're just clean, folded, and in a perfect pile on your bed.
You're not serious.
I couldn't believe it at first either, but it just keeps happening. That's why I didn't tell you. I didn't want to jinx it.
You are insane.
Try it, you'll see. Unless it's only chosen me. See, I don't know.
I can't do this.
No, wait. There's other things too. Plates, cutlery, pizza boxes, dirty tissues, anything you leave on this coffee table just vanishes overnight. I mean, sometimes I'll see how far I can push this thing and I'll just leave shit everywhere. And then sure enough, the next day, it's all gone. It's just...
I showed that to my wife this morning. She did not think it was as near as funny as I thought it was. I do try to help, or at least get my sons to help as much as possible. Now, so folks, we have a problem in this world. We have a problem in the United States, and we have a problem in crypto too. It's the same problem. It's a very basic problem. There's a literal war on the truth. And the problem that has happened in our traditional media is the same thing that they've done in crypto media. These are corporate-owned entities. Many of them are either corporate-owned or corporate-backed, and they're sent to carry a narrative. They're sent to carry lies. They're carrying lies all around us. The Bitcoin Ethereum thing has been a lie, a narrative-created lie by money that's backing people that they're not just individuals that showed up to crypto. I literally showed up here and Ripple and XRP made sense to me, and for years now, that's all I've been talking about. I've never been paid to talk about it. I am no shill for Ripple or anything else. I talk about it because it's always made sense. And the Bitcoin and Ethereum thing has never made sense. If you think about it, everywhere, and I was telling somebody this the other day, everywhere where there's secrecy, there's lies, there's disguised whales, there's hidden, there's Satoshis that people have met with, but they act like they didn't, and they all lie about it. Not one of the Bitcoin people will talk to you about that Homeland Security video where they say they met with the 4 Satoshis. It's dishonesty and untruths everywhere. Everywhere you look with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they're not showing you what they own. All of it. Everywhere you look with Ripple and XRP has been transparent. They've shown it to you. And yet we're supposed to believe, and everything with XRP works. Stellar works. Not with Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's all kinds of problems. Now, so why are we being fed lies? And that's the theme of today's video, and it's going to be the theme in the group. I'll show you even more in the group. There's a war on truth, and it's intentional. Let me show you truth. The truth is that before the narrative wars and the lawsuits and all the stuff started, this was reality, because the market When the market is left to be an actual market, a free market, what happens is everybody knew. Ripple went up 36,018% in 2017 when all things were, when there was a level playing field and there were no winners and losers being picked by regulators, and there were no planted pundits out there that were trying to, I'm shorting XRP, and there were no lies and lawsuits and all the stuff. When the market was deciding, it clearly chose XRP. It says here, XRP was the best performing asset during the last bull run. I think it's allowed to take a little longer than the rest to get ready for the next round. No, you'd still be up 3 times USD, Anyway, so let's get to so here's eGreg Crypto. This is from yesterday. And he's talking about Bitcoin dominance, ideal decline sparks altcoin boom. If the anticipated Bitcoin dominance decline follows through, get ready, an electrifying alt season. So it shows that the Bitcoin dominance is going down. Well, they can't have that because they've got their ETF coming. They've got the halving coming. So you can't have Bitcoin, and so see how it's been going up? It's up over 41,000. They can't have that being the narrative that it's losing dominance. They can't have XRP going. XRP began to go up. It was up, I think, over the last 24 hours, it had gotten up to around 64 cents. It was starting to move. And then you had this out of nowhere. The second I saw this, I was like, well, there's somebody trying to, it's like they got a hammer and they're trying to beat XRP down. Then eGreg Crypto puts this in. He says, XRP pure manipulation candle. And he's showing you right here what happens. So somebody comes in the market because you can't have the market reveal the truth. Back when Ryan Zagone was at Ripple, many of you may never have seen this. This was a brief moment. Here's your Bitcoin Maxi right here. And he, by the way, he was one of the guys in a lot of the meetings. This is one of those guys from, is it Coin Center? He was one of these guys over the years in a lot of meetings where it's Bitcoin Maxis and Ethereum guys that have tried to control where this market went with the regulators, but he's being giving a just basic truths. There's no dishonesty in this.
Proof of
Ryan
work
Zagone from Ripple.
Proof of work doesn't work. Proof of work doesn't work. It's been widely.
Ryan, proof of work's been working.
Let me finish.
Let
Proof of work doesn't work.
Finish, please.
And in the early days of Bitcoin, there was a whole group of developers that broke off to create other assets, XRP being one of them, that doesn't use mining, that's cheaper from an energy perspective than Visa, and already scales to 1,500 transactions a second. A lot of these problems have already been solved. The challenge for adoption comes back to policy. The policy uncertainty around some of the assets has limited adoption, particularly here in the US. And I'm speaking from Ripple and XRP because we use that asset because it's a half a cent per payment. It's basically free. It scales and it's efficient. So 1,500 transactions a second at nearly no energy burn. So we're at a point today where there are real solutions to all of these challenges that already exist. Policies become the challenge. And we heard on the first panel that around centralization on China, and this is going to be a hard pill for Peter to swallow. But 80% of the mining power for Bitcoin is controlled by 6 mining pools, 5 of which are in China. Today, the policy certainty in the US exists for Bitcoin and Ethereum, despite the fact those are China-controlled platforms. So activity goes to those platforms. What we need to do from a policy perspective in the US is look at the places where there are uncertainty. And one place I'm speaking directly for me here is XRP, where it looks like Bitcoin, it's decentralized, it's open source. We have 7% of the validation power on that, rather small in there. Grouping or giving clarity to those ones that are very similar to Bitcoin and Ethereum, that have the same characteristics and should be classified the same way. And then we're creating a level playing field across all the cryptos. I'm not anti-Bitcoin or anti-Ethereum by any means. I think there's a lot of great potential and breakthrough there. But we need to have a level playing field so the market can pick which ones they want to use and not be, as today they are, hindered by regulatory uncertainty.
Right. So here's a little more truth. This is truth. But see, a large percentage of the crypto media will not show you the truth.
That China has done is they have captured more than 51% of the mining capacity on the Bitcoin blockchain, which means that the very first internet of money, which was the Bitcoin blockchain about 10 years ago, is now essentially owned by China. So as a country, we now face a geostrategic competitiveness issue, which is, do we in the United States want to own Internet 2.0 in the same way that we own Internet 1.0?
So then we'll take you to this. Now, the guy right here, just to give you a little background, this is the bankless. You know how I've told you many times on this channel. In crypto media, it's no different than in traditional media. When the internet came along, you had the Matt Drudges of the world pop up, and I believe that was viewed as a major threat because they were individuals who were not in the pockets of any kind of corporation or anything like that. I'm not saying these bankless guys are, but I am saying these two guys are not dumb guys. They're smart guys, and that's part of the problem here. This stuff right here, there's a reason that certain channels, like a Laura Shin, it's almost like they're fed all these big time guests. Well, I could get big guests too, but the problem, I don't really want them. I'm not into the interview thing. But I've seen this movie. I've seen the you can smell narratives when that's what it is. My narrative is Ripple and XRP, but it's not Ripple and XRP for the sake of being the narrative. It's Ripple and XRP because I discovered it in 2013, and it's the only thing that has ever really made sense to me as a world-changing technology. Out of all this stuff, much of the rest of it either seems like a narrative, like they're trying to pump this idea of this thing, or much of the rest of it seems like a bunch of scam stuff to me, and always has. And there's a lot of lack of transparency around a lot of the other stuff. There's a lot of reasons. But I know when I see narratives being carried, I know it. I can smell it. Well, this guy right here is David Marcus, and you have to know who he is. He was the prior president he was president at PayPal when PayPal brought up in 2013 PayPal Galactic to create a currency, like a currency that could be used on Mars. It was never mentioned again. Then he shows up at Facebook and they create Libra, which later became Diem, and then Congress basically shuts that down. And then he goes to Bitcoin, and now he's wanting to do some stuff with the Lightning Network. These two guys have always been Bitcoin / Ethereum. That's their thing. They're all in the same club, folks. Well, these are not dumb people. Nobody on this panel are dumb people, but they won't even mention Ripple and XRP. They may mention it, but that's a voodoo topic, more or less. So these three smart people, are you telling me, because I'm going to play you a clip right here, are you telling me that they really believe this? The guy speaking is this one right here. This is a clip I had recorded earlier. I'm not going to play it from YouTube because I had to go through and find the whole thing. Are you telling me that they really believe this about Bitcoin?
Talking about. We've been proponents of Ether as an asset similar to Bitcoin, like money. Bitcoin has some other attributes like immaculate conception. And I think you could get into sort of a
immaculate conception. Are you telling me that these guys, who are not dumb guys, are really trying to sell that lie? That the immaculate conception, what does that mean? Immaculate conception. Immaculate, that's almost comparing it to, that's like saying that God created it or something, or it's ridiculous, because they know there's a reason that these guys will not play this video on their channel. They know this. They know exactly. I'm telling you, I'm not saying they know this specifically, but I'm telling you, there's a handful, maybe 1,000 or so of all these people that have been pushing this Bitcoin Ethereum narrative, who all know what's being said in this video and who probably have known from the get-go of this industry.
We looked at Bitcoin was the most prevalent at that point. We had seized quite a bit of it.
For those of you that haven't heard this, this is a Homeland Security agent saying this.
Billions of dollars.
And she's saying it in front of 2 or 3 SEC officials in the conference.
Under the Silk Road investigation. So one of our agents who started looking at another online marketplace through the deep web, which is called Black Market Reloaded, they were sending weapons through packages and ordering them on the dark web. And he was really, really smart, forward-leaning agent. And he goes, I want to go interview Satoshi Nakamoto. And we're like, what? He said, yeah, I want to go interview this guy. And at the time, we're like, hey, it's a figment of somebody's imagination. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not true. So, we had all this pushback from our headquarters. And we thought,
wonder why?
Hey, if an agent wants to go talk to him and we have some money, why don't we send him? Let's find out how this works. So as it came to be, the agents flew out to California and they realized that he wasn't alone in creating this. There were 3 other people, and they sat down and met with them and talked to them to find out how this actually works and what their reason for it was.
So basically what these guys are, the truth that they do not want to talk about, I guess the only thing I can figure is that what he's saying is, if you create a digital currency and then you keep the wallet, in other words, you keep control over the wallet, you just haven't done anything with it yet, which is what Satoshi did, right? The 4 Satoshis, that is. But if you have the wallet, you still have control of it, but then you walk away and make yourself anonymous and you don't ever talk about it again, then you, like, in other words, if David Schwartz and Jed McCaleb and those guys had retained whatever it is, 1 or 2% of the XRP in existence, and then they had just walked away, then that would have been an XRP immaculate conception. This is a bunch of BS, folks. That's the reason my channel ever got to where it is because I do not toe the line when it is BS, and those guys know it. They're all smart enough to know it. So that's why I say we are living, and it's not just in crypto. We are living, this is a world we're living in now where it is a war on truth. Right is wrong, wrong's right, black's white, white's black. The sky, if you see it and it's blue, they're telling you, no, it's orange. You just think it's blue. It's like they're trying to make you crazy, drive you crazy, or make you doubt your own intuition. But that's not what we do here. We go from our gut, because your gut is right 99.9% of the time. Now, folks, I'm going to skip those 2 videos that I just showed. We're going into DAIXRP.com. And listen, it's a war on truth. And it's an intention. The important part of it is that it's intentional. It is an intentional war on truth. And I'm going to go further into it and show you some things, some really what I consider to be, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Profound video of that really hit home with me. And then we're going to show you their truth. It's not only that they're trying to make you believe lies. It's that they know they're doing it. They're excitedly doing it, and they're saying this is the next lie we're going to show you. This is the next lie that we're going to make people believe. We're done with this lie. We're going to go on to the next one now. This is how sick it is. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Tell your friends and family that the intentional lies will be covered in DAIXRP.com, and we're going to go in there right now.